cats, being creatures of habit, can find any major change in their environment quite unsettling. This includes the introduction of a new family member like a baby. However, with the right approach, your cat can not only adjust but also develop a loving bond with your bundle of joy. The experts emphasize the importance of gradual introductions. Rather than bringing your baby directly into your cat's space, they suggest letting your cat sniff an item, like a blanket, that carries the baby's scent. This allows your cat to familiarize itself with the new scent at its own pace. Another key advice from the experts is maintaining your cat's routine as much as possible. Cats are comforted by predictability. If the cat's feeding, play, and cuddle times remain consistent, it will be less likely to associate the baby with negative changes. Also, remember that positive reinforcement goes a long way. Reward your cat for calm behavior around the baby. This could be with treats, praise, or extra cuddle time. This helps your cat associate the baby with positive experiences, leading to a more harmonious coexistence. Changes can stress cats, so avoid major shifts like moving their litter box or favorite napping spot. Next, let's introduce the scent of the baby to the cat. When it's time for the introduction, ensure that the cat is calm, perhaps after a meal or a play session when they're likely to be more relaxed. Hold the baby and let the cat approach at its own pace. Never force the interaction. When the baby starts to crawl and explore, supervise their interactions with the cat. Teach the baby to respect the cat's space and to be gentle. Don't allow the baby to pull the cat's tail or fur. This is crucial for building a positive relationship between them. Also, provide the cat with an escape route or a safe place. Cats need their own space where they can retreat if they feel overwhelmed. A cat tree or a high shelf can serve this purpose. Remember, you're not alone in this, and many families have successfully introduced their cats to new babies. With a little time and care, your cat and your new baby can form a wonderful bond. Keeping a cat or a cat at home is not recommended if there is a small child in the family. This conclusion was reached by experts from the University of Iowa, having analyzed the results of a joint study with scientists from the International University of Florida. But if the cat is already part of our family, we need to adapt our pet to the new conditions when a child appears. Are cats dangerous for children? There are people who are sure that cats are dangerous for children. What if they are allergic? What if there are worms? What if there are fleas? But if allergies can really be a problem, you can't guess here, then the other risks are exaggerated. Be careful if your child shows symptoms of allergies. The most common among them are itching, redness, difficulty breathing, coughing, and tearing. If the cat is domestic and its health is taken care of, regular vaccination and parasite treatment, visits to a veterinary specialist, not practicing self-exercise, and do not allow the cat to dig in the trash can, it does not pose a threat to the child's health, and there are no restrictions on communication between the child and the cat. Exception: scratches. In practice, all cats are individual, and you can never say for sure how a particular cat will treat a particular baby. Of course, there are cases when the pet becomes jealous of its owners and takes offense, but most often cats ignore newborn babies. The interest of cats in children appears later, when the carapace begins to crawl or walk, and himself pursues the cat. But even here, not every cat will succumb to provocations. Some pets categorically avoid children, others are affectionate and careful with them, and there are those who do not mind to release claws. Much in the relationship between the pet and the baby depends on the temperament of a particular cat, the character of the baby, but most importantly, from the parents. They should not leave the child unattended. Moreover, they will have to teach the baby to handle the pet, and the pet, with the baby. The most important thing in the stay of a cat and a child under one roof is safety, and both. The task of the owners, to control the health of the pet, timely treat it from parasites and vaccinations, to visit a veterinary specialist, not only in case of problems, but also as a preventive measure. A child in the house is a good reason to sterilize the pet. If you still haven't decided to do it, now is the time. A sterilized pet is more balanced and much less likely to give unpleasant surprises. To prepare your cat for a baby in the house, reproduce baby sounds to get the cat used to them. Start with a small amount and gradually increase over time. Reduce the amount of time you spend with the cat gradually, as you may not have much time when the baby arrives. Relearn the cat's body language to recognize signs of stress when there is a baby in the house. After the baby arrives in the house, make sure the cat has plenty of hiding places to hide in case of stress. Keep the baby's dishes out of the cat's reach. Introduce the cat to the child gradually. Do not force the interaction or leave the child with the cat unsupervised. Try to give the cat daily attention. It will help the cat and you relax. How can you establish a joint life of a cat and a child under one roof? The first step is to pay close attention to pet. The arrival of a child in the family is an incredibly life-altering event, unequivocally one of the most important milestones in anyone's life. Preparations for such an event need to begin well in advance and should include preparing your feline companion for the impending changes. The nursery, which will soon become a hub of activity and the primary nesting place of the newborn, should be set up well in advance. It is important to allow your cat to explore this space and familiarize itself with the new smells and objects, such as baby lotion and powder. This gradual introduction is intended to cushion the impact of drastic changes and reduce the shock for the cat. It's only natural that during the initial days following the baby's arrival, your attention will be predominantly concentrated on the newborn. However, it's critical not to neglect your pet during this period. Ignoring your cat's needs can make her feel unwanted and abandoned, which can spur problematic behaviors. Even if tight for time, snatch a moment to scratch your cat behind the ear. Engage in a brief conversation with her. Let her sniff the baby and his belongings. Doing so helps the cat understand that the baby is not a threat but a new member of the family. Encourage your cat to be an active participant in the proceedings, rather than relegating her to the background. The advent of a child invariably leads to a commotion in the house. It's full of noise, fuss, and an array of toys scattered everywhere. To maintain the mental peace of your cat, it's essential to provide her with a safe haven. This should be a place where she can retreat, rest, and relax without any disturbance. Regardless of how docile and affectionate your cat appears, never leave her alone with the baby. Even if the cat has been a member of your family for a long time and you understand her habits well, remember that she is an animal whose behavior can sometimes be unpredictable. There are numerous heartwarming images on the internet where children and cats are seen peacefully napping in the same crib. While this may look endearing, it is advisable to establish boundaries for the pet. Discourage your cat from jumping into the crib or snooping around areas where diapers and baby clothes are kept. Keeping these areas off limits will protect your baby from any hair or dirt that might have collected on your cat's coat. Cats can unintentionally pose a risk to the baby if they decide to curl up on the baby's chest or face while sleeping. Cats asleep can also scratch the baby if startled. While it's not pleasant to think about, it's important to be realistic and realize that the cat may scratch the baby. Your responsibility is to minimize the chances and potential impact of such incidents. One way to reduce the risk of serious scratches is regularly trimming your cat's claws. Another critical aspect is providing your cat with a variety of toys. Toys not only prevent your cat from focusing on the baby, but also channel her energy in a positive direction. As the child grows older, he will naturally want to play with these toys and the cat, thereby fostering a bond between them. The friendship between a cat and a child cannot be cultivated without the right parental approach. The parent must take on the mantle of an educator for both the child and the pet. Once the child is old enough, it is crucial to explain what is acceptable behavior towards the pet. Likewise, the cat must also be trained to understand the child's boundaries. Rewarding the cat for good behavior by giving her treats is a great idea. This not only reinforces positive behavior but also strengthens the bond between the cat and the child. Pets, particularly cats, are known to have a strong therapeutic impact. They can foster a sense of responsibility, love, and kindness in children and boost their self-esteem. Their calming presence can be particularly beneficial for easily excitable or hyperactive children. Contrary to common fears, it's extremely rare for a cat and a child to not get along. We hope that by following these guidelines, you will successfully establish a harmonious relationship between your cat and child. After all, we hope you will not add to that rare list.